everyone, I'm Ginny Washburn, founder of iMoveU. Welcome to another set in the series, Take 10. This yoga flow has an added emphasis on your thighs, so get ready to feel the burn. To start, let's do some squats to warm up the body. Take a stance a little bit wider than your hips, feet parallel to one another. Just sink down and up, pushing your seat away from you as you sink down, so you can get those thighs parallel with the floor. Pull in your abs and relax your shoulders. You should be feeling this pretty quickly in your legs. On the next time up, alternate knee bends up towards your chest, warming up your hip flexors and really using your core to pull those knees up. Let's do 5 more here. 2, 3, 4, and release. Now to start this exercise, let's start in goddess pose. Take a wide stance with your toes pointed out on the diagonal. Cactus your arms, sink down nice and low. So here are a couple of things to think about to get you into position. And I'm already winded, I don't know about you. Whew. So make sure your knees are tracking over your ankles. Grip your glutes, tuck under firmly and upright your spine. Think about stacking your shoulders over your hips. Pull in your abs, relax your shoulders, backing down. Bring your hands into a wide prayer and just start to pulse. Firing up your thighs. You should feel this pretty quickly. This is going to be a very intense workout. If we only have 10 minutes, we got to make the most of it. So stay with me today. Now to keep your spine upright, think about pressing your back up against a wall. We have a tendency in this pose to hinge forward, and that is not the correct form. So you want to think about stacking those shoulders over your hips, really tucking your hips under, pulling in your abs. And let's do 5 more before a change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold nice and low. Pivot towards your right, rotating your feet, coming into a lunge position. So track your front knee over your ankle, your back knee underneath your hip. And just start to pulse here. Now I want you, at this point, your thighs should be burning. So I want you to check in with your thoughts. What are you telling yourself? Think about positive things. This is what your body feels like, getting stronger. Come back to center. I know you're on fire, I am too. Pulse a couple times here before we move to the other side. This time turning towards the left, rotate those toes, and start to pulse here. Pulling in your abs, again, shoulders stacked over your hips. You can bring your hands down to your hips. I like them in prayer because it's kind of like, oh, praying to help me through this. Feel that burn and embrace the shake. A few more here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to center. Star pose. Feel that nice release for just a moment before we sink it back down into it. Hands in prayer. Sink back in into horse and just rock from side to side. If you need to open up your hips a little bit more. And then this time, interlace your fingers. Press your palms away from your body. Start to press your knees out, out, out. Pressing them back behind you. For this one, you can lean forward just a bit, almost as if you're riding a horse. Breathe through it. Your thighs should be burning. That's what you want. That's what helps to lengthen and strengthen your muscles, is that time under tension. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo! Star pose. Take a nice deep breath. Come to the front of your mat and stand here for just a moment in mountain pose or Tadasana. Feet parallel to one another. Grip your glutes, tuck under, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back and down. Chin parallel with the floor. Really lengthen through your torso, lengthening through your rib cage, almost as if there's a string pulling up through the crown of your head, pressing through the top of your head up towards the ceiling, and also rooting your feet down. So you're being pulled almost in opposition with one another. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, step or jump back to plank. In plank pose, remember to keep your abs pulled in tight. Fire up the back of your legs, pressing through your heels. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Hold here for just a moment. Firing up your core, your shoulders. Don't forget to breathe. Your breath is so incredibly important. And slowly lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. From here, lift your right leg up high to the sky. And then bring your right foot so it's in between your hands. So now turn your right foot out on the diagonal to about a 45-degree angle so your toes are pointing towards the front right corner of your mat. And we're just going to do toe taps here. So bringing your left foot in and back, in, back, in, back. Pull in your abs, relax your shoulders. You're going to start to feel the burn very quickly here in your right thigh. Hold on to it. Stay with it. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And step back. Turn your foot back, facing forward. Step back into plank. Let's go through a quick vinyasa. Lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. We have 2 legs, which means we have 2 sides. Lift that left leg high up into the sky. And then step forward, foot in between your hands. Turn your foot out to a 45-degree angle, toes pointed to the front left corner of your mat this time. Start to tap your right foot in. So there's a quote that I just read in a book by John Acuff called Do-Over, and he says that great lives are very rarely created in great comfort. And I think that's so true, that sometimes in order to better ourselves, whether it's physically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, we have to get outside our comfort zone and really force ourselves to be uncomfortable. 5 more here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release back into your lunge. Foot straight forward. Come back to plank. Slowly lower down chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here before we move to our second to last pose. And going back to being uncomfortable, there's a saying that my yoga mentor said to me that really sticks with me. And it's about working within your pain-free range of motion. So yoga, or any exercise in my opinion for that matter, should never be painful. It should be challenging. And there's a big difference between feeling an intense stretch or a burn in your thighs, as we're feeling today. There's a difference between that and pain. So if you're ever feeling pain, come out of the pose. You should feel challenged. You should feel uncomfortable, to go back to that quote, but never in pain. So look towards your hands, bend your knees, get a little springy, and hop, step, or jump up to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, when you come up, sit back into chair pose. This is our second to last exercise here. So with chair, press your tailbone down towards the earth, and then press the weight of your body into your heels, pressing your knees back. You should be able to see your toes from beyond your knees when you look down. Lifting your arms up overhead, relaxing your shoulders. If you have any tension in your shoulders, you can come to a wide V here, Or you can bring your elbows or your forearms down to your thighs for downhill skier, or you can bring them out to the side, whatever's most comfortable for you. Your thighs again should be burning here. We're going to move this into a twist. Bring your hands into a wide prayer, twist over towards your right, bringing your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Pressing your left elbow in to increase your twist. With every inhale, lengthen. With every exhale, twist further. Now, twists are wonderful detoxification poses for, eliminating any unwanted thoughts, feelings, or emotion. Also really helps with digestion. Come back to center. Twist over towards your left. Right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Pressing your elbow into your knee to increase the twist. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Come back to center. Stand back up. Raise your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into plank. And then come down onto your hands and knees. This is our final working active pose here. And I know we're running a little bit over 10 minutes, but that's okay, so just stay with me. Bring your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. Turn your fingertips slightly inward. Soft bend in your elbows. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees about 1 to 2 inches off of the mat. Pull in your abs. This is called Beast, which I think is very appropriately named because this pose is quite a beast. You're going to feel this immediately, pretty much everywhere. Your thighs, but also through your core, through your shoulders. Your biceps are working here. Just hold here. Continue to breathe. Our final working pose before we relax and rest. Give it all you've got. Best effort of the day here in this pose. 5 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release your knees to the mat. Press your toes together. Widen your knees. Sit back, child's pose. Extend your arms out in front of you. Bring your forehead to the mat. And breathe deeply through your back body. Congratulating yourself for all your body has accomplished in this short, quick video. And when you're ready, come on up. Namaste.